I'm going to make this review quick because this movie freaked me the heck out. Obsession. So this movie was recommended to me by someone who talked this movie up quite well. And it was a little surprising to me because as far as I know, the person who recommended it to me doesn't really do horror movies. Well, as far as horror movies go, if your goal is to scare me, success. What's this movie about? Girl falls for guy a lot more than she should. And as the title suggests, that obsession takes her to some pretty wild places. Now, as I already said, creep factor dialed up. Now, maybe you are a braver soul than me. It's actually likely that you're a braver soul than me, so maybe this atmosphere isn't enough for you. I've not seen enough horror movies to really understand, like, is this by the numbers? Is this shaking it up? Is this generally creepy, or is it, pretty tame? I don't know. But for my money, it was the movie was definitely carried by just the ominous, weird vibes. That there's a lot of like shadow lighting where she'll just be standing and she'll be silhouetted, but they do this thing where they'll let you see her eyes, and the way it's framed up, they almost look inhuman. Like they not like, they don't look like snaky or demonic or something like that, but they look just off enough where you're like, is that a person? Are we dealing with like some kind of possession? I like what feels like the center idea in this movie. If you want something from somebody, if you have to fundamentally change them to get a certain outcome, to what degree are they them? And the movie deals with that in some heightened ways, but nonetheless, that is an interesting question. This movie presents a pretty solid answer. I mean, like it doesn't really take an ambiguous or agnostic position when it comes to the answer to that question. I will say, for a negative, the movie goes to certain wild places a little too early. Therefore, your protagonist kind of gets relegated to a dummy because the movie has to keep going. Some things go down where you're like, you really cannot justify playing this cool at this point. It just feels like you're manufacturing plot at that point. I will say, there were certain things that happened that I don't think were meant to be funny, but it came across as funny. Now I was laughing because I was so freaked out. Like I was like tearing up in my eye. I was actually like really scared in the theater, but there were people in the theater who were just like howling. Like they just found certain interactions hilarious. And I'm not sure that's always the vibe that the movie was shooting for. What I do like about some of the character interactions is that the characters that our protagonist interacts with, the characters that our protagonist talks to and deals with, they call a spade throughout the entire movie. Whether it's like how you're interacting with the girl, what the reality of your situation is, like what you have done, at what price you've done it, the optics of the situation. Like everybody keeps it real for the most part. Now there are a couple of I think what the movie believes are twists that you see from a mile away. Everybody did great in the movie. The girl who is obsessed is playing the hell out that role. Like just phenomenal performance. She goes through certain mood swings for reasons, and she'll snap from freaky to calm to terrified very, very quickly. Just literally want to die. And she didn't miss a beat. Give it a watch. It is sufficiently creepy. It's sufficiently unique. I should say that. The premise itself is pretty unique, at least as far as I'm concerned when it comes to these kinds of movies. But again, I'm not deep into this genre of movies, so maybe this premise has been done to death. I don't know. But from what I've seen in movies, it seems more or less a unique premise. So yeah, I'll be sleeping with the lights on tonight, and I'll be eyeballing my wife very, very, very closely. All right. This is a public service announcement for all the men. Forgive my crassness in this subject. Do not stick your dick in crazy.